morning, dear hearts. We are on lesson 240. We are completing the second section of part 2 of the workbook. Our relevant thought has been, what is salvation? The first one was, what is forgiveness? And you probably won't be too surprised to see how well the next relevant thought folds in, blends into today's lesson. We are given this beautiful, gentle guidance from one relevant thought to the next, and they all weave together for our spiritual tapestry. By the way, please subscribe, please share. And today's lesson 240. Fear is not justified in any form. In any form that fear might present itself to us, it still isn't justified. It still isn't real. So that's why it cannot be justified, because it isn't real. False evidence appearing real. Remember that acronym for fear. It works. It's true. That's what fear is. It's false evidence. It appears to be real, but it has no reality within it at all, because fear is an illusion. Now the lesson begins. Fear is deception. Deception. It's a trick. It's a trick that the ego tries to play on us to make us believe that it is real. It's deception. Fear attests that you have seen yourself as you could never be, and therefore look upon a world which is impossible. Not one thing in this world is true. Why did I emphasize that? Because our next relevant thought is, what is the world? So you can see how this weaves together. Fear has us look upon a world which is impossible. A world of illusions, a world of dreams, a world of smoke and mirrors will never be a real world. It is a fantasy that we have made up, but we then believe in it. As I've said many times, it is make-believe, because the world as we see it is what was made. It was not created. And those of you who have been with me for a while know that that is an emphasis, that truthfully, when we understand the difference between what is made and what is created, it just helps this entire course to become more clear for us. And we are striving, we are wanting, we are seeking clarity and constancy and consistency, all things that we find within God. Buster sighting. Not one thing in this world is true. The world I see holds nothing that I want. But beyond this world, there is a world I want. Back in part 1, first 50 lessons. It does not matter what the form in which it may appear, whatever form this world may appear. It witnesses but to your own illusions of yourself. So, what is within, I will see without. My own illusions of myself, my thoughts, my fear thoughts, my untrue thoughts, the thoughts that I have thought apart from the mind of God. Those are my fear thoughts. Those are illusions. Those will never, never, never become true. There's nothing in my mind that I think apart from my Father's mind. God is the mind with which I think, that will ever be able to be kept, that I'll ever want to keep. It's everything in this world that the ego has made up is temporary. It's ephemeral. It comes and it goes. It will not stay. So there is nothing in this world that I want. There is nothing in this world that is true. Let us not be deceived today. We are the sons of God. We are the children of God. There is no fear in us, for we are each a part of love itself. Love which created me is what I am. I am as God created me. So even though it's not using those words, the thought is still within this lesson, as it is in I still say every lesson, although I have not necessarily found it, but I know it's there. So, love which created me. God is love which created me, and there is no fear in us because we are each a part of God. The second part of this lesson is italics. It is our prayer. How foolish are our fears? How ridiculous, truthfully, are our fears, because they're illusions, and every illusion will fade away at some point. And the more I recognize it as not being justified, not being real, having no substance at all, the quicker it will go away. How foolish are our fears. Would you allow your son to suffer? I am asking my Father. Would you allow your son to suffer? Give us faith today to recognize your son and set him free. I imprison me and my brother with every fear thought, with every vast illusion, believing that my brother is less than I am, believing that my brother is not a part of who I am, but a part from both me and my Father. Let us forgive him, forgive our brother, in your name, that we may understand his holiness and feel the love for him, which is your own as well. Let me love my brother as my Father loves my brother. Let me love all of the sonship, which is all part of an extension from our Father's mind. Let me love each and every one. There is no fear when I love completely, wholly, and perfectly as my Father loves. Let me be as my Father would have me be. Let me be that love that created us. Okay, we are, there is no fear in us, for we are each a part of love itself. If I am a part of love, let me be love. Now, this lesson, that fear is not justified in any form, very much reminds me of lesson 48. There is nothing to fear. There is nothing to fear. Fear is not justified in any form. And in lesson 48, that there is nothing to fear, we had this first line in the third paragraph, and there's only 3 paragraphs in lesson 48, that the presence of fear is a sure sign that you are trusting in your own strength. The awareness that there is nothing to fear shows that somewhere in your mind, though not necessarily in a place you recognize as yet, you have remembered God and let his strength take the place of your weakness. And when that moment comes, I read more than the first line, but when that moment comes, then we truly will know and recognize and embrace the idea that indeed there is nothing to fear, and fear is not justified in any form, ever. I would add ever. It's never, ever justified. We need not fear. We are an extension from our Father's mind. We are love. And we do love, and we are lovable, and our Father loves us and never wants his children to suffer. So I think that's it for today. I hope it helped. I hope it made sense. I hope it was uplifting and felt good to realize that there's nothing for us to fear ever, and also that we're completing the second relevant thought section. So please be here tomorrow when we begin the third one. In the meantime, like, share, subscribe, smile, pray for these awarenesses to come to every mind as quickly as it can, perhaps today. Namaste.